welcome to the dissolving process class. We will start this class by defining what a solution is. A solution is a type of homogeneous mixture that is of variable composition but in one single phase, and it is made up of two elements. The most abundant substance in the solution is called the solvent, and the dissolved substance is called the solute. Okay, here we have an example of a solute, a solvent, that make the solution. Now, not all homogeneous mixtures are solutions. And here we are going to see the properties of solutions that differentiate them from other homogeneous mixtures. Number one is solutes cannot be filtered out of a solution. Solutes do not settle out of a solution. Solutions are uniform. That means we cannot distinguish between the elements that form them. Solutions are not chemically combined, and they can vary in their concentrations. Okay? Here we have an example of gold. We have different carats of gold. There are 10 carats of gold, 14 carats of gold, and that is the concentration of solute that is in the mixture. Now we have different types of solutions. We can mix gases with gases. We can mix gases in liquids. We can dissolve gases in solids. We can dissolve liquid in liquid, liquid in solid, and we can dissolve solid in liquid and solid in solid. And we have different examples for each of one of those. We have the example of air. Air is a gas and gas solution. The air we breathe is a mixture, a homogeneous mixture because we cannot see the components, and it's also a solution. Now, how does the dissolving process happen? When we have a solid in liquid solution, meaning we have a solid solute dissolved in a liquid solvent, the process is called solvation. When we have solids or gaseous solutions, the process is called diffusion. In both cases, what happens is that the molecules of the solvent start to separate in order for the molecules of the solute to join in between them. The molecules don't mix together, they just make space between each other for the others to be in the same space. For this to happen, we need to have an external energy in them. For example, when we mix water with sugar, water would be our solvent and sugar would be our solute. We need to mix it. We need to exert a force on it in order to mix the sugar with water. Now, in this case, what would be our solute and which one would be our solvent? Please answer in your notebook. Next, we will talk about solubility. It is said that when a solute is able to dissolve in a solvent, it can be called soluble. This means that there are solutes that are not dissolvable in a solvent, and they are called insoluble. Each solute has an amount that can be dissolved in a specific solvent. This measurement is called solubility. High solubility means that we can dissolve a high or a great amount of solute in said solvent. According to the solubility, a solution can be saturated, unsaturated, or supersaturated. A saturated solution is when it has the maximum amount of solid that can be dissolved at a given temperature. If we increase that temperature, we can have a supersaturation, which means that we added more solute to the solution than the maximum amount. When we have less than that maximum amount, we have an undersaturated solution. That means that we can keep on adding solute and it will continue to dissolve. Last, we will talk about the factors that affect solubility. As we were talking about in supersaturated solutions, if we change the temperature, we can add more solute to the solution. And here we have a table that tells us with different compounds what is the solubility at certain temperatures. Pressure is another factor that can affect solubility. And for this, we have Henry's law that states that the solubility of gases is directly proportional to the partial pressures of the gases above the solutions. For this, we have a small formula that is very similar to the one we've been seeing in the gases laws. And we will see it more in detail in topics to come. So that's it for this class. Don't forget to log in to Facebook for the live Q&A. I hope you have a nice day. Bye bye.